Hello, and welcome to the channel. And in today's video, I do want to talk about things that I would like to see in Space Marine 2. Now, this has been a topic that a lot of people have been discussing around their channels, so I thought I would like to do one as well, because I like these ranting videos. I like to do little rant videos. It's just nice to do, man, right? And I want to see other people's thoughts and opinions as well. So let's get straight into it. Now, starting off with number one, and I'm pretty sure every or majority of the people would like to see this, and that is chaos customizations being introduced into PvE. Now, if you do not know, obviously this game has a PvP. You know, surprisingly, if you weren't aware, this game has a PvP, and pretty much in that PvP you are able to play as the Heretic Astartes, and the drip is very, very nice, if I say so myself. And I feel like drip like that in the PvE would be very nice. Now, pretty much some people have been saying that the reason why there isn't any Heretic customizations or chaos customizations being added into PvE is because of Games Workshop. Now, Games Workshop has pretty much said no. Or at least people have said that Games Workshop has said no, we do not want chaos customizations into PvE, which I find pretty stupid, because Saber Interactive 1 did want to introduce it, but Games Workshop kind of cock-blocked them and said no. Now, I'm going to explain to you why I find it pretty ridiculous as to why, you know, Games Workshop saying no is pretty stupid. Because in the PvE, you are able to play as heretics. You have heretic banners, or like icons that you can put on your shoulders, and we have heretic weapons, right? So, for example, the Bulwark here has a Xeno face blade, right? And if we go over to the data vault here, we go over to the research center, and we go over to the rewards, and we go down here, you have a traitorous thunder hammer. So we already have, you know, chaos, you know, rewards in the game and heretic rewards in the game. So I really do not understand why Games Workshop, you know, are kind of cock blocking Saber Interactive here. And it's not only that. If we go to the armoring hall here, we go over to the, let's just say, you know, Vanguard or whatever, we go over to the, you know, thing here, and we go over to the shoulder pad. Now we can't use this one, so we're gonna have to use this one. Let's say this one, right? What do you see here? Right, I'm gonna show you what you see. Number one, an Iron Warriors icon. All right. Number two, 1,000 Suns icon. So these are number three, Alpha Legion icon. You already have heretic customizations into the game. Black Legion icon, right? World Eaters icon, the Night Lords icon, the Death Guard icon. You already have these icons into the game, and having these icons therefore allow people to make heretic like customizations, right? Is it, you know, like amazing, you know, drip? No, because obviously we are limited, but you are able to make, for example, an Iron Warriors, you are able to make a Night Lords, you are able to make a World Eaters, you are able to make a Death Guard, you are able to make an Alpha Legion, and you're able to make a Black Legion. So I don't understand why, you know, the Games Workshop have said no when we have countless of heretic stuff in the game. You adding chaos customizations into PvE will only make the game better. Why? Because the moment you add heretic or chaos customizations into PvE, one, majority of the player base play PvE. Two, you will generate a lot more money, not only for Space Marine 2, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know if Games Workshop make any revenue of Space Marine, but Saber Interactive will generate revenue off of those DLCs that they will most likely do, obviously for more money. And number three, the moment you add chaos customizations into PvE, you can therefore expand the PvE. Now, what I mean by that is, maybe if Saber Interactive wanted to, and they have the green light by Games Workshop, they could maybe add an expansion to the operations, and we are able to play as heretics, play as the 1,000 Suns, right? So we have 1,000 Suns campaign operations into the PvE. Like, you understand what I'm trying to say here? I'm sorry, I'm not the best explainer. And for example, you could also maybe, if, you know, Saber Interactive wanted to, they could add an expansion to the campaign. which a lot of people did like. Now, does the campaign have any replayability? No, it doesn't, but it's still good nonetheless. And adding an expansion to the campaign will be pretty decent, and again, it will introduce more stuff to the PvE, right? So it'll probably introduce more game modes. For example, I've been saying this for some time. I've been saying a beast mode for Space Marine 2 would absolutely slap. Now, if you're unaware what a beast mode is, it's pretty much a game mode from Gears of War 3. Now, obviously, it shouldn't be called beast mode. It should be called Xenos or something, or whatever, Xenos. And it's pretty much where you play as the Xenos. You play as the Thousand Suns. Now, what I mean by that is, I don't mean just like a Thousand Suns Marine, or like in the PvP right now. You don't have the Thousand Suns in the PvP, but you got like World Eaters and whatnot. What I'm talking about, I don't have all the things, but what I'm talking about is a cultist sniper, a Zangor with a shield, a Rubric Marine, a Chaos Spawn. This is what I am talking about. Now, again, I'm going to go into more in depth as to what beast mode is. So beast mode is a game mode from Gears of War 3, and it's pretty much where you play as the enemy. So it's pretty much a horde mode, and it's where you play as the enemy, right? So you play as the Locust. So you pretty much have points that you get throughout the rounds, and you play against bots. Now, I feel like it would be better if you play with people, and it's more of a Chaos versus, or Xenos versus the Space Marines, and it should be a group of 2 teams, six players, right? And you pretty much, so the Space Marines pretty much probably start off as Imperial Guards, maybe, or like they have the Cadian 8th. You have a Captain Adrian or whatever. You have infantry squad. You have a heavy weapon squad, and even a commissar, where you're able to play as these people, and you have two teams. You have you're able to play as this, and as the rounds progress, and the more points you have, the more stuff you can play as, right? So as you progress further, so you should probably start off with a Cadian, and then maybe a commissar. And then when it comes to the Adeptus Astartes, you should be able to probably play as, probably a Space Marine, right? And as the rounds progress, you should be able to play as more, scarier things, right? For example, they should be able to play as a Dreadnought, and the opposing team that's trying to infiltrate their little thing can play as a Hellbrute. Now, we already have a PvP game mode called Hellbrute Onslaught, but you are able to play as a Hellbrute, so I don't think it will be too difficult to implement this into the game. Maybe it will. I do not know. But pretty much, again, in Gears of War 3 Beast Mode, you pretty much start off as like a Ticker, as a Trone, like a Wretch, and then in the second bit, you kind of start off as a I cannot exactly remember what the second one was. I think the second one was like a Boomer, maybe, and whatnot. And then when it comes to the third slot, you pretty much have like a Mauler, you have a Corpser, and whatnot. And then when it comes to the last one, you pretty much have a Berserker, you have an Armored Cantis, and stuff like that. That would be nice, right? So, for example, towards the end, it would be a Hellbrute, maybe a Vortex Beast, maybe even not a Mura, but... And for the third one, it should probably be like a Sorcerer, maybe. Adding a Helldrake would be pretty impossible. And for the third one, it should be like a Terminator. Adding stuff like that, adding more game modes to the game would be very fun. A lot of the people that play Gears of War 3 and still play Gears of War 3, a lot of the people that play the Gears of War franchise still want Beast Mode into Gears of War E-Day. So that's how you know it's a good game mode. And you play with bots. And now, in my opinion, again, it should be with players. I just feel like adding more game modes to the game would be more fun. Having more variety. Because if you want me to be completely honest right now, the state of Space Marine 2 in terms of grinding isn't really all that fun. Like in terms of whether that's prestige grinding, whether that's accolades. It's like, the stratagem is pretty fun. I just feel like the amount you get isn't great. It's not amazing, and they should change it. That's another thing that I wish they would change, but I'm going to talk about that later. But yeah. So adding, that and Chaos Customizations would be nice. So 1, Chaos Customizations. 2, a game mode called, inspired by Beast Mode. Now, when it comes to the third slot, I want more weapons introduced into Space Marine 2. Now, when it comes to this year plan, the second season pass, we are not going to get a whole lot of weapons. We are pretty much only going to get, well, you know, we already have the power axe, we have the pyro cannon, and we have the pyro blast. And the last weapon we are going to get is the Omnazaya axe, coming with the Tech Marine class in January or February. Now, I do kind of wish that there were more weapons added into the game. Now, I'm not trying to be ungrateful here, because in September 4th, we did get the pyro blast, the power axe, and you know what I'm trying to say. And we are technically still getting new weapons, because obviously, I don't know if you want to call them new weapons, but we are, you know, getting, for example, like the Xenoface blade here. We are going to get a new power fist. We are going to get a thunder hammer. We are going to get a bolt sniper rifle. You know, all these are coming in the next patch. I don't know if you want to say they're new weapons, but they are new, you know, variants of weapons we have in the game. And I guess that is pretty good. I guess something to grind for, which is very nice, because grinding things, in my opinion, is just, okay, pause, not physically grinding, all right, but in terms of gaming wise, it's very nice to just, you know, sit down, chill, and just progress towards something, right? So yeah, just adding more weapons, whether that's, you know, the power claws. I know a lot of people want that into the game. I know a lot of people want the storm bolter. In terms of Space Marine 2, I don't know a whole lot of weapons that can be implemented into Space Marine 2, but those two I feel like can and should be added into Space Marine 2. And just more weapons. Just want more weapons. That's it. That's it. Let me know what weapons you want to see in Space Marine 2. You want to see a power claws? I know a lot of people want to see that. Do you want to see a storm bolter rifle? Let me know. Or storm bolter, sorry. Let me know in the comment section down below. Now, another thing that I would like to see in Space Marine 2, more classes. More classes being added into Space Marine 2. Now, we are getting the Tech Marine in January or February. After that, I don't, you know, just, oh, Tech Marine's coming out and that's it. I would like to see more classes being added into Space Marine 2. Whether that's the Apothecary class, whether that's the Librarian, whether that's a Chaplain, whether that's a whatever it may be, right? You know, a what was it called, a Psyker. More classes will be introduced and should be introduced, because we just want more classes. Now, in terms of, you know, how they're going to be added, I don't know, because if you do not know, these characters right here are all in the campaign. So it's like, who's going to play as the Tech Marine? You know, because I don't think there was a Tech Marine in the campaign, so are they just going to put a random character in there? Who are they going to add, right? So yeah, just more classes into the game. Let me know again what classes you would like to see in Space Marine 2. Now, I know a lot of people did not want to see the Tech Marine, but I don't really mind. I feel like you know, the perks look pretty decent. How, you know, the way it plays, you know, sounds pretty decent. Obviously, when patch 11 drops, and I don't know, maybe they drop a community update after patch 11, maybe in like November 30th or whatever, or 29th, hopefully they'll tease a little on the Tech Marine or whatever, what we can see in patch 12, right? But more classes, please, and thank you. Now, another thing that I would like to see in Space Marine 2 is bots customizations. Now, in patch 11, you are able to customize your bots, right? So for example, what I mean by that is, let's say I'm playing as a Vanguard here, and I have an assault and a tactical. The tactical is going to look like this, the assault is going to look like this, and I'm going to look like this, right? Now, I don't think you're able to change your bot custom like loadouts, which I think is pretty disappointing, because I know a lot of people wish they added that into the game for many reasons, right? And I'm going to get into that. Now, the number one reason as to why I think they should have added that is because, if you don't know, the Tech Marine class is going to come out on patch 12. I've said that multiple times, I do apologize, but it's going to come out, right? And a lot of people are going to want to play as the Tech Marine. So what do you think is going to happen when like probably 90%, maybe 98% of the player base is searching for tech, or wants to play as a Tech Marine, right? If you don't know, Space Marine 2 has a system where if I'm playing as a Vanguard, the chance I get into another game with a Vanguard is very, very low. So what do you think is going to happen when everyone's playing Tech Marine? You can figure that out for yourself, right? It's just not going to look pretty at all. Hence why, if you added that into the game in patch 11, it would somewhat solve the problem when it comes to the Tech Marine class, you know, because then people can play with bots, and the bots are, you know, actually no, like someone help and make playing solo easier. Now, in my opinion, playing with bots is pretty easy already, but just making it more easier is going to help the player base that don't play the game every day and whatnot, and it's gonna make it easier for them. And adding that would have solved the problem. Now, another reason why I would say adding that would make the game better is because take a look at this, this week's hard stratagem. It's poo, it's suffering, it's pain, it's depression, right? You have great responsibility. A randomly chosen player will have 100% more health, but all damage taken by the team redirects to them. If they die, the mission fails. That is not very fun, right? It's because whenever you have great responsibility, it's like your battle brothers just want to walk into damage. They want to just get hit by everything and anything, and then your health just goes. And some of them will even grab the medic items and the guardian relics. So that's amazing, man. And adding that into the game would again make playing solo a lot easier, because if you don't know, I did the hard one on solo, because when the bots take damage, that damage does not become inflicted on you. You don't take damage because the bots take damage. You take damage if you take damage, right? Which makes this hard stratagem a lot easier. Now, normal is very easy with people, then you don't have to worry about that, but hard, nope. I'm good. So if you added that, like, it would have been easy. I know a lot of people are struggling with this one because they're not, with all due respect, they're not good enough to play solo, so they're kind of relying on players, and the players are not great either. So yeah, adding that would have, I guess, solved some stratagems problems, right? Now, another thing that I would like to see in Space Marine 2, simple, changing this ultramarine ship to, for example, a Blood Angel ship. You have Battle Brothers here, for example, right here, and they are all ultramarines, but I am playing as a Blood Angel, so changing this to an Blood Angels would add... You shut your mouth when I'm talking, boy. But anyway, I'm playing as a Blood Angels, right? And it just doesn't really suit it, right? It doesn't really add to the realism, the role play. So just changing this would be a lot better. Changing this to a Blood Angels would be a lot better, in my opinion. So yeah, just simple things like that would be very nice. Now, I don't know if they are going to do that. They are going to expand the battle barge, so maybe next year they might change that. I don't know, right? And if you do not know, Saber Interactive did say in not yesterday's community update, but the community update before, they pretty much said 3 customizations. They pretty much gave 3 hints, saying one of them they said that they weren't going to do, but no one noticed. One of them is like where they said they weren't going to do it, but they changed their mind, and I don't know what the other one was, right? But again, changing these battle brothers right here to Blood Angels would be very nice, in my opinion, right? Now, another thing that I would like to see in Space Marine 2 is things we can purchase with the Requisition Points. Now, if you do not know, if you are max prestige, you pretty much do not have anything to spend prestige points on. If you didn't purchase a a cosmetic pack or whatever, a chapter pack, you pretty much pay like 40. So for example, this would be like 40, and this might be like 60, 80, I don't know. These are pretty much the only way you can spend the Requisition Points. Now, you do have, for example, prestige perks here. If you want to reset it, it's 750. And the only reason why they added this into the game is so Saber Interactive could say, you do have something to spend your Requisition Points. Here you go, prestige. And it's like, I spent how many hours getting, grinding the prestige, and you want me to pay 750? It should be for free. It should be for free. All right, it's pretty crazy. You're charging 750, right? And that's another topic. Grinding, prestige grinding in this game, weapon grinding is not very fun. If you want me to be completely honest, some classes are absolutely abysmal to prestige grind. Assault, sniper, maybe even heavy. Not very fun classes to grind, right? Pretty boring, it's not fun. Just playing the same maps again and again isn't very fun. And lower and people who are grinding the prestige have to play, or they don't have to, but they choose to play on absolute because they want to finish it as quickly as possible. What is my solution to that? My solution is very easy. Every single game has this apart from Space Marine 2. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna go to the Accolade shop right here, right? All you have to do is add a double XP token right here, and make it so that you are able to purchase with requisition points. Maybe for one match, maybe it costs 50 requisition points, maybe 100. For 5, it should cost 500 requisition points, and maybe for 10 operation PVE maps, it's 1,000. Adding that into the game would make it 10 times easier for newer players. Now, in terms of, you know, are people who have played the game, you know, for hours and hours, do they have something to spend their requisition points on? No. Now, I'm not a game developer, right? I don't know what else they can add, but I feel like a double XP token and whatnot would be pretty nice. You know, instead of doing a community update where it's focused on double XP, why don't you just add a double XP token? You know, because when you're adding the double XP community events, it's like, what do you want us, like, like, I don't know, maybe 30% of the player base that's already prestiged everything. What do you want us to do? You know what I mean? It's like a, literally, it's not even a community update or community event for us, sorry. It's just a normal day. So instead of making a whole community event on double XP, why don't you just add a double XP token right here? And instead, whenever there's a community event, it should be for customization or whatever. Because again, people love customization in this game. And again, another thing I like seeing Space Marine 2 is just more heroic weapons, more, you know, more of these, more accolades grinding. It's just nice to have, right? Now we are going to get 6 new heroic weapons, 6 new customizations in patch 11, which is pretty good. If you do not know what weapons we are going to get the Thunder Hammer, the Power Fist, the Bolt Sniper Rifle, the Heavy Bolter, and the Instigator Bolt Carbine. And that's it. And the Heavy Bolt Pistol, sorry. And yeah, 6 new armor pieces, which is pretty good. Now I don't have all the armor cosmetics because I don't play the daily stratagems. Like again, that's another topic that I'm going to discuss, but I don't play that. I just play the hard weekly stratagems and the normal one. And yeah, I should be done in like a week or 2, probably next week. Not this Monday, but next Monday I'll be done. But yeah, and again, that links into my other point. This shit right here, 15 accolades, you're crazy. Saber Interactive, I would like to, what were you guys smoking when charging 15 accolades for this? 15. That is loose change, man. That is loose change right there. What is 15 accolades? What am I gonna buy with that? Please elaborate. And shall I tell you what's even more crazy? A hard stratagem, I think you earn 200 accolades, and a normal one you earn 150. Are you crazy, Saber Interactive, or what? A hard stratagem, a weekly stratagem should be charging 300, and an exfiltration normal should be like 150, right? When it comes to hard dailies, they should be at least 25 or 30. Double. Because the fact that we're comparing, you know, a hard and normal, and the difference is 5 accolades. With all due respect, if you are failing a normal stratagem, again, if you're new to the game, fair enough. But if you play this game for some time and know the, you know, the basics, as in parrying and whatnot, and you struggle, well, you struggle. But the difference being 5 is crazy. Like, these normal ones are easy. Easy. And the fact that the difference is 5 is an abomination. Again, this should be doubled by, this should be 25 or 30, and this should be 300. If this is 200 and the normal one is 150, this should be 300, 250 at least, bare minimum. And I know a lot of people agree with me on that one, because this is crazy. Crazy. Saber Interactive, please change this. Thank you very much. Now, you know, they did say there's going to be like an alternative route that you can take if you want more accolades. I don't know what that's going to be, right? I don't know if that's going to be introduced in patch 11 or patch 12. I think it's patch 11, but we will see. And again, more operations, please. Small operations, right? Because if you like, operations make up stratagems, they make up operations that people want to just play normally. So that'll be very nice. Now we are going to get, obviously, patch 11, a new PvE operation. We are going to get a total of 4 operations this year, which some of you might think is a little low. Now into it's going to pretty much be, we're going to get, so we already had a PvE, I mean we already had operations, Vortex Beast, amazing. We're going to get one called exclamation, I think, or reclamation, I think. That's going to be this one. Then we're going to get another one in January, February, and that's going to be, I think, Chaos and Tyrannus. Don't quote me on that one. That's just what people have been saying, right? And the last one right here is going to be another PvE operation. That might just be Chaos, I would assume, probably. Most likely, it'll be Chaos. Could be Tyrannus, I don't know, but I'd probably lean more towards Chaos. And then that's pretty much it. So we're going to get 3 more operations, and that's it for this year. Now, I feel like, I don't know if that's a little bit low or whatever, but you can make of that, what you will, right? Now, the next, patch, like, I think like March or April, whatever. Maybe even like June, July, I don't know. Pretty much, I think it's March or April. Is it March, April? I don't even know, all right? Like patch 14 or whatever. I think it's patch 14. It's more going to lean towards PvP, which they kind of do deserve because they don't get jack shit. Right? But yeah, and then the last patch, which will be probably in July, that's going to be a siege mode update and a siege mode strat gems, I think, or something like that, right? I do hope they do kind of rework the siege mode because it is just trash in my opinion. Like, they kind of hyped up for it to be pretty trash, if you want me to be honest, and it runs like absolute shit. So yeah, if we're comparing the horde mode, or I mean, bro, like they called it siege mode, but is it even a horde mode? I don't know, right? Can you call this a horde mode? But if we're comparing the Gears of War 3 horde mode to this horde mode or siege mode, it doesn't compare. Gears of War 3 is so much better. But yeah, I would also like to see a change in the siege mode. I just feel like it's not very fun. Performance isn't great. Now I'm on console. I have a 100 hertz monitor, but you can only pick between 60 hertz and 120 hertz, and I play 60, right? So I lose quite a lot of frames. It's just lagging most of the time. Holy shit, when it's like, when you go like wave 10 plus, it's just fucking atrocious, man. Just not great. So I don't know if that's just me. Is that me? Let me know in the comment section down below if that's just me or if that's you guys as well. Do you guys experience like crazy like FPS drops? Because I don't know if it's just me. Otherwise, I'd probably play siege mode a lot more. It's just the performance is what lets it down for me. And that's it. Like, I feel like, yeah, that's just like the main stuff that I've covered. In like things I like to see in Space Marine 2. And yeah, and we're also going to get Battle Barge expansion. Just more Battle Barge expansions would be pretty nice as well, right? We already had the data vaults. We already have, this Accolades thing. We are going to get a training arena. I don't know what else they can do to expand it further, but if they can expand it further, that would also be nice as well. That's going to be today's video. Please drop a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications on so you get notified every time I make a video, and let me know what you would like to see in Space Marine 2. Have a great rest of your day, and I'm out. Peace.